Time for Media Watch. James Credence here. James, we've got Britain and Ireland's media dominated by countries' budgets. Tell us what the reaction has been.
All right, let's take a look at some of the front pages from this morning, Mark. A lot of discussion online today as well about one particular moment. Maybe I'm exaggerating it a little bit, but this is how The Guardian decided to interpret things. You have George Osborne, Cameron and co having a bit of a laugh. And the Guardian headlined, at least somebody's laughing because this is the latest austerity budget in the UK and some don't find that funny at all. This tweet, for example, says, Osborne shows his true face as millionaire laughs as he cuts benefits to poor. Another person said, laughing in the Parliament as they hammer the nails into the UK coffin of austerity and other such remarks.
I think it's kind of fair enough because if you see the so-called like bastions and guardians of the country laughing away like that in serious circumstances like this, when lots of families have to tighten their belts, it's
that's right. No, they weren't laughing at austerity. There was a bit of repartee going on, but it just doesn't look good.
We know that, don't we? Because we know how people behave in Parliament. But to people looking from the outside, it's just like they're laughing about it.
That's right. And you've got to be very careful nowadays as a politician because you get snapped in one position and the message can be in some way perhaps misrepresented, but there you go.
This is the Independent here, is it?
That's right, and that's Osborne pulling a rabbit in skeleton form out of a
dead
hat.
rabbit. Okay.
Now, same story in Ireland, Mark. Some of the story, because the Irish budget comes out at pretty much the same time. Ding dong merrily and cry, says the Daily Mirror, and the Irish Examiner, The Big Squeeze. Same sort of message coming out there. Now, in fact, while there were 3.5 billion in cuts and tax hikes, a lot of people focused on wine. Now, I'll show you, wine went up by €1 per bottle overnight, and people ran to the shops and emptied them of wine to save on €1. Some people saying, hold on a minute, there's 100 police stations closing across the country. Isn't that more of a concern than €1 extra on a bottle of wine?
It might be, but you can't run out and buy a police station.
That's a good point. It would cost a bit more. And I suppose some people found this guy a bit of light entertainment. He was the economic expert at the Daily Edge website. So there he was in his very kind of official looking tie.
Steve the Cat.
Steve the Cat. And Steve the Cat was doing calculations all day on front of charts for that particular website. So, why not?
I like Steve the Cat. He looks brilliant. I love that. Fantastic stuff. Nice tie. Nicer than mine, obviously. Next, Forbes' most powerful people. Hollande, Francois, has dropped one place to 14 compared to Nicolas Sarkozy last year.
This is the most influential person in the world list at Forbes. You've got Barack Obama, number 1. Angela Merkel over the border in Germany coming in at ding ding number 2.
Okay.
So that doesn't leave the French very pleased with their number 14 spot for François Hollande, the 14th most influential. And last year Sarkozy was number 13, which obviously allows Sarkozy fans to say, well, Obama's the most powerful person in the world and Hollande is being classed behind the butcher on the main street of Dijon. So that's one person's take on it.
It's a very snobby way of putting it. And what would people in Dijon think about that, I think? Team Sarkozy, be careful. You're getting too snobby. Get away from yourselves. Okay.
That's it.
What's next, sir?
All right, well, let's move to Gérard Depardieu. Now, he has been performing a duet with the daughter of the Uzbek president.
Gérard Depardieu, the French actor, the big guy who plays the big guy in Asterix.
He was in Green Card.
He's been in everything, hasn't he? He's in like the millions of movies, hasn't he?
Yes. Now, the thing is, this lady has had trouble with corruption charges in the past in Sweden and elsewhere. Her father also. So, it's a kind of an odd choice for a duet. I think he's probably going to do a bit of money, get a bit of money out of it. Let's take a listen to an extract of this duet, Franco-Uzbek duet.
Le ciel se tait. Te pardonner avant, je ne l'ai pas su, mais maintenant, je te pardonne.
Well, I can see why he's singing with her. She's a very attractive-looking lady.
She is indeed.
The song has a hint of Serge Gainsbourg about it, a hint of, Je t'aime moi non plus, that kind of thing, Gainsbourg, Birkin, that kind of thing.
There were others remarking about exactly the same thing. Now, Armin Georgian, who speaks a bit of the old Russian...
He's our international affairs correspondent here, France Van Cat.
Says that she's going on quite a lot about being alone in that song. So that's the Russian translation.
Yeah.
And others have said she's a bit like the Uzbek Whitney Houston, crying, the cry of the lonely
Let's
soul.
hope she doesn't have the same end as that poor soul.
That's true. So
James,
there you go.
James Creedon with Media Watch once again. Thank you very much indeed. Stay with us, short break after that. We're back with more news, some sport and some culture. You're watching live from Paris.